Okay, welcome. Today I wanted to offer some reflections about times of turmoil. What can we do in these times of turmoil? So, this has just come to me, so I'd like to offer a few reflections what we can do about this. So, thank you. So, just invite you as we're doing this just to breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. And whether you can breathe in for 4 and slightly longer as you breathe out, this will really help the message to go in. So last night I went with my wife to the wake of a young man, similar age as my stepson, so 32 I think, who had committed suicide a few weeks ago. And then speaking to people the last few weeks, just really getting this sense that, with what's going on in Ukraine, with Russia, that there's turmoil in this world. And we can see that. And on my podcast last Friday, which the episode went live yesterday, if you've not watched it yet, please do. So Michael Boyle, I was speaking to him, and he was saying that, for the next couple of years, probably a year or so, there's going to be a lot of turmoil. And that's what I see. One of my Buddhist teachers once said to me, he said, when the old is dying out, it makes a lot of noise. It seems kind of, whoa, he's it. What he was speaking about as leaders, when the old leaders are dying, the old ways, they make a lot of noise. He said the dinosaurs, when they were dying out, would make a lot of noise. And so this is to know that this next period of time, the next year or so, is going to be challenging. These are times of turmoil. And yet we've kind of known that the trajectory we've been on as humanity, something needed to change. If you look at ecologically, they say that certain people say that there are 60 harvests in the same way. If we do this mass production of harvesting, only 60 harvests left on Earth. So we need to change, and therefore sometimes a change is painful, and then the new can be born. The caterpillar has to die from the chrysalis in order to be reborn as the butterfly. So we are in times of turmoil. This is clear. And as I found in my own life with my own transformation, is that it does really feel challenging. And there's a few key things we have to come back to carry us through these times. When it is most challenging, this is the time that we practice most. A lot of the meditations that I share on this channel, a lot of the breath work, the EFT, Ulf Sandstrom, who I interviewed episode 28, again, saying, doing the tapping, trauma tapping technique. Michael Maisie in my episode 29 of the podcast, from being in prison, a drug addict, a drug dealer, into going sober and then really serving humanity. It's like, if we can get through this transition, then it can be truly beautiful. So the first thing really is, when it is hardest, that's when we show up the most. And what we mean by that is we come back to the basics. We exercise, we get out, we move, we sleep, we get to bed early. We rest well and we eat well. For example, steamed vegetables. If you go back to the Buddhist monks that I lived with, the Dalai Lama, or even Gandhi said, eat very simple, plain food. Spicy food that kind of stimulates us. He said, eat very plain, simple foods. Again, some of the most senior monks that I know in the West, they eat steamed vegetables, rice, and a bit of tamari, and no sugar, things like that. I know one monk who had really bad arthritis, stopped eating sugar, his arthritis cleared up. So it's like if we can come back to those basics: movement, eating, and sleep, and having a daily practice, meditation, having maybe studying something, reading the Dalai Lama, or reading some other inspirational book. Often what I've found, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, that we let life lead us. We get pinged by our emails, or we get drawn into things rather than, so if we let life lead us, or we lead life, we lead life by filling ourselves up first. So there's chaos out there. Keep your phone turned off in the morning. For me, from 6 till say 9 o'clock, I don't look at my phone. I have it on flight mode, or I have this I don't have it on me. Oh, yes I do. This phone here, this is my phone, which is not connected to the internet. This is my alarm. I use that to time myself for my exercise or whatever. So I think this is key, is how do I want to begin the day? Okay, there's turmoil out there. I need to really take care of within myself. And what the turmoil is doing is helping to see, where am I stuck? I'm in fear. There's change going on. And in Buddhism, they say change is the only constant in the universe. Anicca, they call it in Pali, impermanence. It's like that. We know things are going to change. There's going to be peace. There's going to be violence. There's going to be harmony. There's going to be disharmony. And it's kind of seeing that sometimes we get lost in duality. Oh, this is right, this is wrong. Whereas when we move down more into unity, into our heart space, it just is. Ajahn Sumedho, in his teaching, saying, the way it is. This is the way it is. Sadness, this is the way it is. Joy, this is the way it is. We don't get lost that this is right, I've got to have this. He's like, okay, this is how it feels, being with my grief, letting it flow, letting it pass. So I think this is really key at this point, really taking care of ourselves. If you're working, have regular breaks, go for walks. In a minute, I'll go for a run. I got up, did my exercise. I'll have regular breaks, I'll do my weights. It's like doing that. So you're filling yourself up. So when the shit hits the fan, which it's doing at the moment, we've got that inner strength that it's okay, I know it's going to pass. And again, what Michael Boyle was saying in the interview is like, the vision is that community, things are going to kind of come together, that we need that vision again, rather than letting life lead us and telling us what they think the vision of future is. It's like, no, let's create our new vision for the world and then start creating it. There's so many positive things going on at the moment out there. We don't necessarily see them if we connect to mainstream media, but there are so many positive things through, finding solutions to the energy crisis, to recyclables, to communities, to permaculture, all of these things. And so it's a very positive time if we can really take care and look within. So, yeah. So my interview with Bruce Parry, who's really into, BBC, I think he's a BAFTA award-winning filmmaker. He was meant to come on the podcast on Monday. That's been postponed till April. I've got Rod Boothwood coming to speak about the lover archetype next week. And I've just come across the email for the Dalai Lama, so I'm going to reach out to him, see if he wants to come on my podcast, because I'd love to speak to him, especially in these times of turmoil. What can we do? And my intention is just to keep having these conversations. Let's really grow. Let's see this as an opportunity to expand and heal and move into a new beautiful paradigm. So yeah, please do comment below whether you find this useful, and yeah, many blessings to you. Take care.